For our next presentation, we're joined by Julia Cowing, Principal Research Operations Manager at Esri, and Kate Fisher, Senior Design Researcher at Jasper, for their presentation, Silos to Synergy: How to Tap into Existing Data for Faster, Validated Discoveries. Let's check it out.
Greetings, everyone. We're thrilled to be here at Disco. I'm Julia. I'm in research operations, and I live in New York City.
And I'm Kate, a design researcher. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Today, we're diving into how to leverage the data around you for faster discovery, so you can go from siloed efforts to achieving synergy. Why does this matter? Because when we collaborate effectively, we can make better sense of data and drive stronger outcomes. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll break down the problem space. Next, we'll explore how you can make the most of existing data. And lastly, we'll walk you through our discovery playbook to put this all into practice. But first, a little more about us. We've worn multiple hats as both research ops specialists and as researchers.
I used to be a researcher, but now I'm in ops.
And I used to be in ops, but now I'm a researcher. We're eager to share what we've learned from our journeys. That said, just a quick note. What we're sharing today is based solely on our own experiences. The content isn't affiliated with any companies we've worked with before. To orient us, let's define what we mean by discovery. Whether you're in product design or research, you might use the word discovery or exploration to mean understanding the problem space, shown on the left side of this diagram of a software development lifecycle. It's that critical phase where you ensure you're building the right thing. Once you start solutioning, shown on the right side of the chart, you know what you want to build. At this moment, you focus on building the thing right. Our focus today is on the left-hand side of the chart, which is anything your teams are doing to know what should we work on next.
We've seen that teams struggle with the question, what problem should we work on next? Discovery has several roadblocks. Let's talk about 3. According to Conway's law, as a company grows, communication boundaries occur. This often mirrors the structure of their products unintentionally, meaning complex products end up shaped like the organizational structure they're created in. So what? What happens very often is that siloed teams create siloed products that create siloed data. Taking this a step further, if each group does their own discovery with the data they have separate insights and separate customer problems to solve for. Or if there's a centralized R&D group, we may end up inadvertently with gatekeepers in the process. Like the parable of the blind men and the elephant, each team has a piece of the truth, but no one sees the whole picture. This results in more time aligning than acting. In fact, 82% of enterprises are inhibited by data silos, and 80% of decision makers said that reducing data and information silos is a top priority for their organizations. Now for discovery roadblock number 2. We've definitely heard the perception research slows things down, have you? Traditional discovery methods such as diary studies or customer journey mapping can often be time-consuming. This often leads to resistance to discovery because most businesses want speed to innovate. Small design changes in the UI can often make a big difference, like whether a user finds the entry point to a workflow or misses it entirely, thinking a feature doesn't exist. The problem is, these minor tweaks can often get overlooked. We're not making the most of the data we have. If all the data is new, it takes time to get everyone on board and aligned. Without a platform to back up these findings, valuable opportunities, especially the easy wins, can slip through the cracks. The bottom line is that these roadblocks to discovery make innovation slow. Despite our best efforts, insights are late to the party in a fast-moving business environment. Low-hanging fruit opportunities are missed, and when all this happens, competitors outpace us and customers churn.
How do we solve this? We'd like to show you a framework that anyone can create, regardless of role, to analyze customer needs effectively. It's a simplified approach to spend less discovery effort with more validation. The key is centralizing data and using a single system of record accessible across the organization. In fact, of those organizations that have centralization of data, 98% know what insights they have. On the flip side, of those organizations that do not have centralization, a whopping 96% do not know their data insights. Think about your company. Do you have customer support teams, product managers that you work with, go-to-market teams? You have new perspectives and data at your fingertips. It's just a matter of bringing your partners together to unify scattered information and knowledge. Another important part of this framework is triangulation. Triangulation is a method to validate your data by cross-checking, diversifying, and/or quantifying your data so that you increase your understanding of customer problems, reduce personal biases, and increase credibility of results. Let's bring this all together and get tactical. Imagine you have data such as customer feedback. The first thing you need to do is categorize it. You can use this matrix to identify 4 types of data. In the top 2 quadrants, we have conversational data on the left, which reflects what people are saying and perceiving, and behavioral data on the right, which reflects what they are actually doing. These two are not the same because what people say doesn't always match their actions or what they choose to do. In the bottom 2 quadrants, we have quantitative data, which indicates the volume or prevalence of a need. To ensure the reliability of an issue, you want to look for consistency across at least 3 different data types. Here's an example of how to apply this chart. Suppose you spot a customer problem. How do you verify if the issue is real and significant? The key is to use triangulation, checking if the same problem appears in 3 different types of data as indicated here. When a problem is validated across 3 data types, it forms a triangle, confirming its validity. We just covered the theory, and now we want to share a practical strategy anyone can use to discover opportunities by leveraging data you have, including the teams around you.
We can't emphasize this enough. The key to success is to involve your partners. You can't do this alone. Collaboration is crucial. To reorient us, during discovery, we're asking the question, what should we work on next? Every company has its own rituals where we answer this question as a group. It may be called backlog grooming, prioritization, annual planning, or creating a roadmap. You don't need to spin up any new meetings or rituals for what we're proposing. Instead, build on these existing planning rituals, incorporating what we recommend into these meetings. It'll help you answer the question, what do we work on next, with shared understanding and confidence.
Now for the hands-on part. We've outlined a 5-step framework to move from silos to synergy that you can incorporate into your planning rituals. We also created a spreadsheet template to show you an example of how you might put these steps into action. We'll post a link in our chat to it. Feel free to save a copy for yourself and follow along as we go through these steps. Here's how we kick things off with step 1, collect. This is all about getting your data ready for a deep dive. Before your planning meeting, reach out to your partners and ask them to gather any customer feedback or data they have. Here's what you need to ask. Where is the data tracked? What type of data is it? How was it collected and who collected it? And when we say main themes, we're talking about what really matters, like the severity of an issue. How many users does it impact? Who are those users? This is the kind of information that helps us focus on what's truly important. Step 2 is clarify. Before your meeting, gather all those top themes in one place, using a spreadsheet, for example. We recommend using our template for this. This is where you will start spotting patterns as a group, even if you're working asynchronously. The spreadsheet will become your go-to system of record for all your future meetings. Remember, the goal isn't to list every single data point. We're not trying to boil the ocean. Instead, guide your partners to zero in on the most important stuff, themes that they feel are really high in severity or have a big impact on users. Step 3 is classify. As you're capturing data points in your list, track the type of data and where it's coming from. Step 4 is to count. The goal here is to make sure the same issue appears across 3 different types of data, like we've shown. This helps you confirm the validity of the problem. If it shows up in 3 distinct data sources, you've got yourself a valid theme. These validated issues are your discovery insights and what you'll be discussing and prioritizing in your planning meeting. Finally, step 5, rank. In your planning meeting, stack rank the validated issues. This becomes your agenda. We're using a 1 to 5 ranking system here, but feel free to adapt it to whatever scoring system your company prefers. If all your partner teams give an issue a high score, it'll rank close to a number 5, which means it's a top priority. The items at the top of the list here are the ones you need to focus on. This stack ranking, done with input from all your partners, ensures everyone is on the same page about what to action on next.
The ultimate outcome we're going for is a trifecta of benefits realized across the organization. The product wins because we have actionable feedback that's been validated, ensuring we're focused on the right things. And there's clear traceability and evidence of the need, so we can see exactly where it comes from and why it matters. Processes are streamlined because we're making the most of the data we already have and using team ceremonies already in place. We've also reduced research time and research costs, making execution faster. People win because we're boosting collaboration across teams, encouraging everyone to work together more effectively. We've made discovery a team sport, so people feel heard, which enhances the employee experience. As a result, the user experience improves and our customers win, making our businesses thrive. Thank you for attending. We want to extend a big thank you to everyone who helped out with this talk.